Okay, we're good. Thank you. Chairperson Shadow, make sure we can use our microphones.
Okay. Do I have to continuously push it or?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you.
1, 2. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Commissioner Hillstock. Tina, roll call?
Commissioner Sanchez. Commissioner Ross.
Here.
Commissioner Hillstock.
Here.
And Commissioner Stopper. Vice Chair Rojas
Present.
and Chair Chiaro.
Present. Okay, it's on our, next on our agenda is to swear in our youth, art and culture commissioners, but they have already been sworn in. So we would officially like to welcome them and congratulate them. So welcome and congratulations to Sarah Stopper and Angela Hillstock, our youth commissioners.
Welcome.
So excited to have you part of this group. You're gonna take a photo?
If you guys can give me a moment.
Okay.
I'm missing some of the- Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Tina. All righty, moving on. Can we have verification of the agenda posting?
Yes, it was posted on 6/9/22 at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you, Corey.
Oh, I'm so, oh, you might say Friday, excuse me, June. Oh,
It's okay. So the date it was posted.
okay. So
I'm-
that was
Oh, the code.
Yes,
June 9th,
2022.
2022. Per government code section 54954.2.
Thank you, Corey. Did everybody have a chance to look over the minutes?
Yes.
Okay, do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I first that motion.
Second. Oh, I'm sorry. In favor.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then do you say a motion passes or you're just,
You can say it.
okay, motion passes. How do I say it?
6.
6-0.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for
Yes.
being a guiding light, Tina. Okay, do we have any public comment this evening?
At this time, I have no speaker cards. I don't have any public comment.
We have one public on Zoom, but did not raise their hand. So
Oh, thank you, Paul. I can't see.
They're not raising their hand at this time, Paul. Okay. Okay, we'll be moving on now to old business. Old business number 1, the update on impact fees.
I'll go ahead and take that. The update on the impact fees was moving forward to our planning development services department, but it was pulled because we now have a new city attorney and they wanted to have our new attorney review the fees just to make sure we stay within code. So we hope that once reviewed, it will be brought back to our commission. You guys can review it, approve it, and then I'll take it to city council.
Okay. Thank you, Tina. Old business number 2, Prop 68 grants, fire station number 2.
So Prop 68 grants, I'm going to go out and go for an RFP, and that will be on council's agenda in the first month of August. As you know, in the month of July, we have no commission or regular city council meetings. So August 1st, it'll go to council, and then they'll approve us to go out to get a RFP. And then from there, we can begin the process of beginning to build the park.
Thank you, Tina. And just to note there on the bottom that we did end up setting up that special meeting in July for Tuesday, July 12th. I think that's for the our artists, call for artists, just for the youth commissioners there. Because I know that was one of your concerns, Tina, that we need to make sure we have a quorum. Okay, old business number 3, ad hoc committee reports.
So each of the commissioners that are in ad hoc will give a report.
Okay. Does somebody want to go first? Did anybody meet?
No,
Go ahead, please. Commissioner Sanchez.
I was not present at the last meeting, and so, yeah, there was, I think you and I are on the skate park
I think so.
committee, ad hoc committee, so.
Okay, so I need to set a meeting with you.
Was the ad hoc, for the skate park ad hoc, was that Vice Chair Rojas
That
and
was me and Chair and Rose.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
so you're just-
Yes,
okay,
I-
couldn't
it was
remember. It wasn't-
Commissioner Sanchez and Vice Chair Rojas?
I think it
Oh,
was
here it is.
originally us. Didn't it get moved to she and I, or was it the other way around?
I will go back and check emails and
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's where my confusion is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you, would you like to report on our committee?
So Chair Kiato and I are part of the California Beautification Project. And we just met last week, had interviews with the top 3 artists to build a sculpture on Highway 25 and Meridian.
Yes.
And so we selected an artist and they are in the process. They've been notified?
I'm not sure,
Okay.
and so I won't say who it is. I do believe they have, but I think they're moving forward.
Okay.
So yes, it was a really wonderful experience, getting to talk to all of the artists, and they all had really exciting ideas, and definitely some artists that I think that we could work with in the future for different projects, which is very exciting. The artist that was moved forward is very talented and very interested in, being really responsive to the community. So some of those next steps I know are about community engagement and getting to know how we want to move forward with some of his conceptual designs and things like that. So it'll be fun to see what that looks like and watching it all come to fruition.
Can we publicly announce the artist?
I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, I don't have I don't have a yes on that. I could probably text, but I don't know if that's appropriate for right now.
Okay.
Okay, so then I think that's it for ad hoc committee reports.
Yeah, me and Chair Sanchez have to make a meeting for the skate park.
Then we can go back and have a reminder of who's on what ad hoc. So since we reported on, do you have
I'll
any
remove
more info? We can skip old business 4 and we can also skip old business 5. Okay. Old business 6, ACC District 1 Commissioner. Do we have any updates on do we have any applications for that position?
We do not have any applications, and I don't think anything was posted in the June newspaper. So at this point, I have spoken to District 1 Vice Mayor Perez, just to see what he'd like to do. And as we discussed, he just said, open it up to anyone. I asked including the county. I think we have a county-wide position. So it now includes the county. Before it was just city, but he would like to move it out to the county. So if there's anyone that might be interested.
Okay.
I have actually encouraged a couple people, so I'll check and see if they've been able to apply. So hopefully.
Yeah, I have a couple of individuals in mind too, so maybe we'll get somebody interested or a few applicants for our next meeting. Okay, old business number 7, very exciting, the City of Hollister 150th flag call and the call for artists that went out.
Sure. So we did put the call for artists out and we have been promoting it. We put it out to other art communities and had them also promote it. So currently, right now, I sent out 5 applications. So we're doing another push on it today. So, but the deadline's July 1st, as you guys know, 11:59 p.m. So we're just really putting it out there and sharing it as much as possible. So we're hoping to get some more.
Very exciting. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. So I had asked, I'm not sure who it was, but I know we talked about if we could get that translated into Spanish in order to give other artists the opportunity as well to weigh in. And I think that person is gone on vacation. Who was the person?
I think
you-
I replied to you, Rosalind, or Commissioner Sanchez, and to you, Corey, about translating that flyer or that call for artists. into
Sure. I have a
Spanish.
colleague that can do that. So I'll have a note of that to do that first thing tomorrow morning.
Thank
and
you.
get that out.
Thank you for reminding us.
Mhm.
And if I can just chime in real quick, and then to our new commissioners, we will send, I will email you that information on our call for artists. And if you have friends or people that you might know in the community that might be interested, then you can forward it to them.
And just kind of the brief on that for the youth commissioners that there's a call for artists to submit up to 3 designs to be considered, their design to be considered for the 150th flag, and it'll be displayed for the entire year, correct? And they will receive $1,000 for that design.
Do you want to talk about what we'll do on July 1st? Or I'm sorry, July 12th?
July 12th is when we will review all of those applications, correct?
Yes, and our commission will choose the artist.
Will we get to review those in advance of that as well? Or no?
Yes, so as soon as I'm still working on the Google Doc or the Google Forms. Thank
Okay.
you. Google Forms. And so as soon as I figure out how to have that uploaded, as soon as the drawing or the picture or, however they send it comes in, I will upload that there so that you guys can just log in and check them out. Great. And so you'll have that before that. And then we'll have our meeting and then we'll also announce the winner at our Movies Under the Stars.
Yes.
May I ask a question about the 150th flag? Is there an age like minimum
We did
or
not put an age minimum
Okay.
requirement on it.
thanks?
The individuals who submit their designs, are they able to come to that special meeting on July 12th?
Absolutely.
Okay. Will they
Yeah.
be invited or it's just kind of?
If that's a recommendation of the commission, we could invite them. And will we discuss each one, or will you guys kind of know at that time? I guess we need to figure that part out on how we want to. I don't know if we have a youth maybe that comes in and their artwork is being analyzed, critiqued.
I don't think that we talked about like
Okay.
a great, maybe it came up briefly, like a kind of a rubric that's like, really
grading
straightforward,
scale,
that
yeah.
everybody's using the same criteria, that it's related to the call so that it's really straightforward and because it can be subjective. Do you remember what we talked about that?
I think it would be in that call for artists. That's where we had that. I could pull that up on. my phone maybe. Unless, yeah, do you have the?
Let me see. Cleaner copy than this one. Let me check, see if I have it somewhere.
I know also through our work with the Clean California Beautification Project that there's some criteria in that we can use also that's pretty straightforward and you can grade on a scale of 1 to 7 in the various categories.
I don't believe we did.
So my question is, do we want to have July 12th? So is July 12th going to be an open meeting for the public like this, or it is? Okay, so when
Special
we're,
meetings are also public.
Yes, that's, if I can chime in real quick, I'm
Please.
gonna be gone that day, so everything's gonna have to be in person. There won't be a Zoom.
okay,
Okay.
So,
thank you. Okay, so it'll be public, and so then I think it's great to have the artists be there. Are we opening it up to then having them speak about their work?
I mean, that would be helpful, I think,
Yeah.
for a better understanding of their vision. But I do agree, it's, a little awkward to kind of critique people's artwork in front of them. But I mean, is there a portion where as the committee, we can do that in private?
Yes, so in application requirements, they're gonna include one cover sheet, a drawing or computer generated concept image, and one paragraph bio. So you'll have that information along with their
Mhm.
drawing or however they want to submit it of their artwork.
So when we were doing the California Beautification Project selections, we looked through that information prior and then rated them on a scale of 1 to 7. And then when we met, we were able to talk about each artist and then also about like which were the top 3 and then kind of go from there. So
Yeah, I'm a little curious, how are we going to kind of grade it on a number scale of different,
Criterias.
yeah,
mhm.
how were we thinking of doing that?
Could we review the artist if they'd like to come on July 12th and speak on it? And then maybe after that, it's a grading scale and the commission grades, just kind of does it privately and then submits it to us. We can do it that way and then announce, when were we going to announce the winner?
So on July 13th.
So on July 13th, we can announce the winner. Could they kind of go into, I don't know I'm not sure what I'm trying to say. You know how council goes into the private session? No, it's not a private session.
Closed.
Closed session. Thank you. Closed session and just to discuss it, because I agree. I don't know if publicly we want to critique.
I guess you could do that just as long as the agenda says closed session on it.
I could, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does that work better for the commission? The artist, if they choose to, comes and talks about their thought behind how they created.
Yeah, I
That's right.
appreciate them coming to support their work, but
Mhm.
maybe have a closed session
Okay.
for the committee to talk about. I don't know how the other commissioners feel about that.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would just ask the commission one question about being able to judge the artwork on its merit alone.
Oh, right.
That we're receiving all of the artwork, we don't know the individuals, and everybody's getting judged on the same criteria without input from the individual, because I could explain to you some of my poetry and it might make a lot more sense. But if I submit it to a magazine, I'm not there to,
Okay.
give a description of why that work is good.
Right.
Maybe just coming up with some criteria, artistic skill, relevance to the project, appropriateness for this project, because like we talked about it not being full of images or things like that, maybe 3 to 5 different categories, and maybe rate in advance and then invite the top 3, kind of like the interview process that we did.
I think that's a good idea because you're bringing up the point of bias also. We want
Exactly.
to make sure that we're unbiased when we're reviewing these. So if we're looking at the looking at the submissions prior. And so we have the visual evidence, which is the artwork they're creating, and then the written evidence. And I just talk about that because that's what we go through with art, the art classes and AP art. And so that paragraph, the artist bio and the statement could be their written evidence that's their supporting. I think that's actually a good idea if
Right.
we're able to flesh it out to the top three. And then you're recommending having those three come during this July 12th meeting. Is that what you're thinking? And then those would kind of be our like interviews in a sense of
Right.
those top three. And then we go into a closed session to make our final decision.
Yeah, I didn't consider bias. Yeah, I think that would be a much better option. They could come anyway though, right? But we wouldn't know yet that was them.
True.
Okay, so
Right.
So is the suggestion that the suggestion is that we are looking at it first, like doing some sort of criteria, and then we're,
picking like a top three and then inviting those three artists to come and
okay. Is there any merit though, also given that art is one of these things that, like if you think about going into like an art gallery or a show where you just walk into a space and you take in the art first and see what speaks to you before you know anything about anyone?
Right. So that's what we're saying is if we're able to, because July 1st is the deadline. And so we should be able to have all of something. Is that what you're saying?
Their
Yeah,
bio,
like, are we, yeah, so just their bio?
Let's look at the artwork without any information and then
Yeah.
move into reading the bio.
Yes, because
Mm.
for me, like, walking, like I said, into a space and, not knowing like what speaks to me first about art, where I interpret, what do I interpret first without knowing anything? And then going in and going, oh, okay, that made sense, or wow, I wouldn't have guessed that. That's the way I view art. Like I will look at it like, does it speak to me without knowing really anything about it?
Mhm.
And only when I like decide that I really enjoy something or want to know more about it, then I dig into it. And
Right.
and then it also, how does it speak to me when I first see it? Because the fact is that most people who are going to see this flag aren't going to know anything about the artist. They're just going to see the flag, and is it going to really speak to them?
right.
I think we could trust commissioners to do that independently. Like, if we decide that that's what we want to do as a commission, you're going to look at the artwork and you're going to judge it on its merit alone. And then after you do that initial kind of run through, then you're going to go back and look at the bios and information. Because I do think there's some validity on the logistical side of, can the person accomplish the task at hand and that kind of stuff too, beyond the artwork. Just are they, have they completed projects in the past in a timely manner, and have they done those things? But I mean, I'd be willing to commit that we're just looking at the artwork initially up front.
Yeah. I'm also thinking, you just mentioned something about, which I do also agree, that we should know that that person is reliable.
Mhm.
But at the same time, what if we have someone who's young, who's, this is their first project? I mean, would we, just because we don't know about their history, would we still not consider them?
Are the bios just describing what the flag is? It's not really about the artist, right? Or is it?
Yes, we didn't really specifically say that. We just asked for a complete application includes a cover sheet, a drawing or computer generated concept image, and a paragraph bio
Hmm.
is how we.
So I'm assuming it's just gonna I mean, I'm assuming each artist is just going to talk about what the flag, what they've designed and what it means to them. Not too sure if they're going to talk about themselves in any way, but maybe they could.
Usually a bio is a personal
Right,
statement about their
right,
background and it
right.
likely might not have anything about their
About
kind
the
of
flag.
design, like their impetus for the design.
But the cover sheet, is that like a cover letter or is it, do we
Ye-
specify that in the call?
We did not. It says it just like I just said it.
Okay.
So I guess, normally a cover sheet would, it's like writing a cover sheet for your resume.
Right.
Yeah, they'll probably discuss some aspect of their design and who they are.
Correct. That's
In the
what I was
cover
thinking,
sheet,
and
yeah.
probably something that they've, accomplished is
Mhm.
what I'm guessing is what I would write in my cover sheet.
Mhm.
That's usually how you do that when you write a resume.
Okay, so does the commission have a consensus on how the process is going to go? We're going to receive we'll have everything in hand, and maybe I can send along or other people can send along some references for a rubric or some main criteria and kind of like a scoring guide that we could use.
Okay.
And then, so look at the artwork, score it. We'll see what's the top three probably by the end of that week, that Friday.
So then we'll come to our meeting with our nominations or choices already selected.
Are we
And then
gonna,
and then we can talk about it, or
will the document that we're scoring in be a shared document?
Yes.
Okay, so everybody will get to see each other's scores.
Their scores. That would be up to you guys. Do you guys
Oh,
want
sure.
everyone to review the scores, or do you individually want for us to score them, then we go pick the top three from there?
Probably for the bias factor, I think you should just score independently and then bring your top three or submit the top three choices to staff, and staff sees which three align across the commission board and then invite those three.
Are
Seems
we
fair.
concerned at all that we may not, may not have enough submissions? In other words, is that like a possibility that we may only have three or we may only
So
have
far I
five?
have 5.
You have 5.
Mhm. And
Okay.
then we just did another boost of that push. And then as soon as tomorrow, when we have it in Spanish, we'll do another boost on that
Okay.
post.
Okay. All right.
so I think we'll have a good amount to choose from, I believe.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the process you outlined, Chair Chiara, is good.
Okay.
So what date should we get our top three to you all by in order to give invitations to the top three?
Like the 8th, is that Friday? That's on Friday, right?
Right.
Is that enough time? A week? I mean, we don't know how many
A
submissions
week
we're
to
gonna
review.
get. So
Yeah.
it's kind
I
of,
think that'd be enough for me.
So if you guys submit it to staff by July 8th, it gives you a week to review. We put the numbers together. A special meeting needs to be posted at least by July 11th. So we'd have to kind of get that together. Could we get it maybe July 7th? We can review it the 8th and then submit the agenda by the 11th. So July 7th, sorry.
Thursday.
Yes.
I think that's a great idea.
Do either of you have any questions about this? We're just kind of jumping you right into the the deep end right now. Sure.
Is there any way to access the special meeting? I know we're not gonna have a Zoom. Will there be anything else? Because I'll be out of state for the special meeting.
Go ahead.
From my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, you can participate by viewing, but you won't be a voting member of the commission at that time if you're chiming in virtually.
I don't think it's gonna be virtual at all.
Oh, yeah, because he just said that. Yes, thank you.
Uh,
So
At
not
this,
the special meeting.
at the special meeting for July 12th, we will not have Paul available. So there was nothing that's going to be available through Zoom or on YouTube or anything like that. So everyone would have to meet here at the chambers.
So we would still need at least 5 commissioners to come to the special meeting.
But you could still give us your, your ratings. Send them to, would we be sending them to you, Tina or Corey or both or, okay. Okay,
So we'll be able to know Commissioner Stoppard's recommendations, whether she's here as a voting member. So that will be helpful to the commission.
I think that you guys, now I'm looking at it, we have a quorum right now because now there's 7 on our wait, who is missing today? No one.
we just don't have
2,
District
4,
1. that's all.
6. So with Stopper absent, Commissioner Stopper absent, we would need everyone else here. Could you guys just kind of look over your calendars and just make sure you're going to be available July 12th?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any other further comments or questions on old business number 7? Okay, moving on to old business number 8, the City of Hollister flag and the call for artists.
Yes, so in our last meeting, we were instructed to hold off until September on that flag.
Still a good idea.
Okay,
With our new commissioners, we just wanted to include them and just make sure that's still the sense of the commission.
I recommend, that's what I recommend that. I'm waiting until September. Any other further comments?
Well, just to let y'all know, so that's a different flag from the 150th flag. And so we wanted to also make sure that it was the artists who are applying and then the 150th flag that's created it has its own time and not kind of looked over because we have a second flag that we're going to do for the city itself. So that's why there's 2 separate timelines for that.
Okay, moving on to old business number 9, Prop 68 grant Dunn Park Clubhouse renovation project.
The Prop 68 Dunn Park Clubhouse renovation, it's the same as the fire station number 2. We'll have on August 1st, we'll go out for an RFP and then from there, it'll take around 3 months and then hopefully we can start work. And it doesn't get into the rainy season. We're trying to push it out sooner than that, but that's what we'll have to do for now.
Any other comments or questions on old business number 9?
No.
Well, we did have some ideas for that. So does that mean that those ideas will be revisited after August 1st or?
We can discuss the ideas. I'm good. I can put that in my staff report.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Do you want to continue
Oh,
with your ideas?
oh no, remember I'm just saying that
Mhm.
last meeting, we had a lot of different ideas, like making it a rotating art gallery in there or.
Yes. So we have those ideas and that'll go into
Okay.
my staff report. I thought you had more
Nope,
in
sorry.
addition to what we discussed at our last meeting.
But just to let the new commissioners know that Dunn Park Clubhouse is being renovated. And so we've been talking about what can we do for the art and culture of this community within that space. So are you familiar with where that is? Mhm, mhm. Oh, right. And so just press that when you're ready to talk. And then is there anything that comes to mind that you think of, even from the youth aspect, that you feel would be great to include there? I think we're talking about interior, correct? Yeah. And then just press that one. Mhm. Maybe even events or anything that you feel, go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say I haven't like been in there for a while, I think. So like not sure like what it's missing or like what it might need. So but
Well, we talked about it needed re-roofing. They're gonna renovate the small side building. A call for artists for a mural, perhaps, and then the rotating gallery was something we were interested in.
And I think Tina, didn't you also mention that there was going to be some technology available for community members as well?
Yes, so there will be a separate room with some computers and technology, and we'll work with our different partners to try to bring what is it called, you guys? Like the design.
Digital media.
Thank you, digital media.
I have a question too about that. I think too. Um, so this is kind of feels like, out of left field, but at the same time, it makes me think about there's a large unhoused population at that park. In which way can our projects positively impact or affect the unhoused population? Like a big question, in my mind.
I know as the city and county try to work together to help with the unhoused population. There's some ideas that are going around, but it wouldn't include having them be at Dunn Park. I think it's in different areas. We just find when tomorrow is a perfect example. We have Kids at the Park event where there's 3,000 people out there. We're going out there and trying to clean it. And there's needles and there's just hazardous type of material out there to where people were trying to reach and pick it up. No, don't pick it up. And we have to remind them that it's a hazard. At this point, it's hazardous material. So the city and county are working together to try to bring them to a different area. There hasn't been a lot of thought from the Parks and Recreation Department as to what we could do for our unhoused population.
So part of why I ask as well is, you all know we have our Arts Academy on 6th Street. So we do actually get, a lot of people coming through of the unhoused population through our doors. And they're actually, many of them are artists. They will come through and somehow buy strings from us. They will ask, if they can, we'll loan them a guitar to sit in front of the store and just play it for a little bit. That's on my partner's behalf, really. And we've actually had someone come through and we allowed them also to play the piano. And so I think I'm thinking more in terms of how do we include them?
I think those are great ideas. Those are amazing. And when we put events together, we don't consider some of those options sometimes, but I know the Esperanza Center is right around the corner. We partner with them. We partner with Kanta on doing something of that nature, bringing a day. So I think those are great ideas and we can include that aspect too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, when I was thinking about these things that would happen in our lives on a regular basis, like how we as a commission could amplify that across the board.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Mhm.
We're engaging with everyone in our community.
Yeah.
We say youth and seniors and adults, but we forget about a certain population. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm wondering if there also might be like some events or strategic partnerships, like you're saying with Esperanza, where we could offer, maybe some art making activities, but also maybe just resources like, clothing or blankets or what does our unhoused population need? And who can we partner with to offer those services through the clubhouse? Safe medication disposal.
safe needle disposal.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
having those resources out there.
Yeah.
And also, the big thing is like, kind of what you're saying, Tina, is like the challenge of interface, like how
Mhm.
do we engage in
Engage.
communication and how do we offer the resources that people need in a really authentic way? So maybe some also, I don't know, I haven't researched any data or anything
Mhm.
around that, but I would be very interested to see what that looks like and who those partners are.
Yeah.
Health and
Okay.
Human Services.
Okay.
Would there be any way for like collaborating with like maybe the community food bank and maybe have like some sort of shelf inside, something like that for them to get help with,
Like a community pantry at the park or something. Yeah, it's a wonderful idea.
Even I love the shared libraries, the little libraries that you can take and give a book and take a book.
Yeah, for my Girl Scout trip, we actually made a couple of those. That's kind of the concept I was thinking, like a little pantry. Maybe it could be outside or inside.
I think when the community thinks of cleaning up a park, they mean kind of removing those individuals. And so we have to find a way to kind of, we're a community, right? And so we have to learn to all share that space somehow. So these are good ideas.
I think also though, giving them obviously the opportunity that we all know that art can obviously affect your life in amazing ways. And that was one of the big surprising findings is how many people would come through and wherever it was that they were able to get funds from to just come and buy some strings, was pretty always very humbling, knowing that that's what they're doing with their time, right? That they have in many cases and want it. But I think it's also a question of being able to give them a space to do that where it's safe, because for us, we have to be really mindful because we serve, young children, and being able to balance, that, the safety of that. But at the same time, knowing that they want it, they need it. And if we give them a space to do it, they could be spending their time there as opposed to somewhere else, doing other things.
Absolutely. Good ideas, you guys. It's great.
So much heart in this team. I love it. Any further comments on old business number 9? Please.
You were talking about an art, like rotating art in there. What if there were like special events where they could invite youth or just like people in general? I don't know if there's already space for this in Hollister, but for like poetry reading, I think because from the outside, it kind of looks like a small intimate space. So I think that could like offer people to go up and recite poetry or like slam poetry, that kind of thing, and like have an audience like take turns and just kind of like mesh together,
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but the Mars Coffee Shop used to do something like that, right? And I don't know if we've found a space since then. So I could see that at the park having nightly, poetry slams or something.
That's important, Commissioner Hillstock. And I really feel that adding that to the budget, a PA system is an important aspect. And thank you for bringing that up.
I strongly agree with that.
We are actually, speaking of that, thinking of instituting an open mic night. It'll probably be probably 3 different nights, probably Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays at Ganta, to give also youth a place to just have, an open mic potentially. So I will let you all know when and if and when that happens, but more than likely that's in the plans to do.
Thank you.
The Arts Council used to host open mic events, but that was, pre-pandemic. Now we're in a new space. On my radar that can coincide with that is also creating some young adult writing classes, because I have a writer's class for adults, but I know there's something missing for students. So that could also be a space where, you're learning and having events too. So some creative placemaking that's happening there. And so that sounds very exciting.
Yes.
Okay, old business number 10, City of Hollister Monument sign downtown. Hollister.
So I submitted the report for the monument sign downtown, and council was appreciative of all the feedback, all the great ideas. So the sign maker will move forward and see about the space on the corner of Fifth Street. But then there was discussion, is it in between Fourth and Fifth on the north side of Fifth Street or on the south side of Fifth Street? And council put it on the south side of Fifth Street. So moving forward, they're going to look into the crystals. The crystals, they thought that was a great idea. One of our council members is still in favor of putting the bollards or the posts. They feel it's a safety concern. They don't want someone to hit it, and possibly the whole thing could fall. So they were still in favor of that. And they were just really excited about the ideas and what this commission, brought to the council.
Wonderful. Any other comments or questions on old business 10? Okay.
Oh, did they mention any specifics about lighting at night, whether there was going to be floodlights or if they were going to illuminate the letters?
There was a little bit discussion, and they're going to leave it to the designer to kind of come up with that. But they thought everything, even from the illuminating the letters to the ivy that kind of goes along the sign, they establish, and yeah, they were appreciative of your guys' of the commission's feedback.
I have questions. So just to get you both up to speed, so we were able to vote on, there's a big arch sign that's gonna go on San Benito Street. And, oh yeah, so we've got some photos. And so these are two different locations for that sign. So we were deciding where the location would be, and the other was giving feedback on the design of the sign. And would the designer be providing us with updates, or it's just they're going to design and then install, and then would we see any design before it's installed?
That's a really good question. I will ask for a final product and then bring it to the commission. I know that that council is really looking forward to moving forward with this project. It keeps coming back to them. So, but I will ask the designer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that's it for old business, which is a lot, very exciting stuff. There's nothing under new business on the agenda at this time.
Can I ask about something actually? And I don't know if it's considered old business or new business. But I think into the third meeting, maybe I requested that we ask about seed money for the commission from the council, the city council. And I don't think we ever revisited that.
I'm sorry, what is it called?
Seed money. So for instance, for us to have some sort of budget.
Okay.
Yeah, to at least start with. And also we talked about potentially a grant writer to help us search for funds. So we have some sort of budget.
We'll put that under commissioner comments. So we're not off topic and it's not on the agenda. But just to give a report, at our last council meeting, city council did approve a grant writer. We will partner with the county So I think the county just has to approve it. I think they had a meeting today to go over that. So there will be a partnership and we will have a grant writer. They're anticipating that the person, because I think the county may have someone or they were already working on it to start either September or October.
Awesome.
But
Thank you.
I will ask about to have a budget for this commission.
But I feel like that also is under the impact fees that we're still currently trying to work on, correct? With getting
That's
the-
correct. You're right, Vice Chair Rojas.
Is there any additional commissioner comments at this time?
Is that still, we finished that conversation, right? Is that the additional commissioner comments as well? What we just finished talking about? That was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you have any other additional?
In
comments
addition to
beyond
that, no.
Anything for you? I wanted to make an announcement. I think I make announcements under commissioner comments, correct?
Yep.
The San Benito County Arts Council is having an art show, an art exhibition this Saturday. Our annual First Responders Art Show, and it's very exciting. It's all of our first responders have the opportunity to submit artwork, and we display it in our space. They also have their fire truck out there, and they make hot dogs for the community. It's all free. So it should be a really good time, and the kids really love it to meet all of the first responders, and it's usually really fun. And it's at the end, 35 Fifth Street, right at the old train depot. So hopefully you can make it.
Chair Chiato, what is the time on that
I'm
event?
sorry, yes, 5 to 8.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And did you say Friday?
Saturday.
Saturday?
Any other further commissioner comments or announcements? Commissioner Stopper?
I know on July 9th, there's the Youth Alliance Expo, and there's going to be, I know a lot of clubs and organizations at the Vets Hall. I know it's from 11 to 3 for organizations. There's going to be a lot of interactive booths. Our club will be there. And from 3 to 6, there will be performances, so like dances and music and stuff like that.
Thank you.
If I can just make that correction, it's going to be downtown on San Benito Street. It's actually called the Art and Culture Fair, and that's part of the city of Hollister's 150th celebration. It will start, like Commissioner Stopper said, 11 to 3, and then we'll have the dancers from 3 to 6, and then 6 to 10 will be a what is Stamina Art Council doing? Not the exhibition, the band. The band is going to be out there. Yes, so we have an all-day event. So the morning time is 10 to 12 over at La Cantrina is the sip and paint.
Painting it or the-
Yes.
Frida Kahlo painting at
Yep.
La Katrina.
And then the expo from 11 to 3, and then the art, we'll send, I know Commissioner Stopper and Commissioner Hillstock will update you and send you some of these flyers that are going to be a part out there. But this is all a part of the city of Hollister's 150th celebration. Every single Saturday in July, we have an event downtown, and we will update you with the flyers.
Thank you, Tina. Any further commissioner comments or announcements? Commissioner Hillstock or?
I believe it's August 13th. Vets Hall, there's going to be a show, a rap show from some of the local youth. They're a group that calls themselves FERDA, and it's like an actual show. They're gonna be selling tickets, and it's gonna be at Vets Hall, and just like, because I know they wanted to like connect with the youth a little bit more, so they got some people in, so it's gonna be like, good show concert. So
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Who's producing that show?
I'm not sure. I don't have all the details. I just know because my brother is one of them, but I know he went to somebody at Vets Hall and talked to them and organized it himself. So yeah.
Okay.
Where can we
Thanks.
purchase a ticket?
Again, I'm not in on all the details, but like I know he's been doing community service and like exchange. So I see him every once in a while. They're getting ready, like testing lights and stuff. So it's like it's an oncoming thing, development.
Exciting.
Just to comment, Commissioner Hillstock, if you receive that information, a flyer, I'll send a big group email, and then we just you share it with us, and then from there we just distribute it to others.
They actually did make flyers. I have some at home. I could like. Yeah.
Commissioner Ross, do you have any comments or announcements?
I'm just really excited to have youth a part of our commission and that they get a vote. So, thank you. And I just wanted to also say that the event that I put on with this artist at San Benito High School went really well. And I don't know if you were able to see the article. There was a news article that went out about it. So the students, I just am very proud of them. They're persevering
Congratulations.
through this world we live in. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, we have a lot of talented youth in town.
Corey or Tina, do you have any final comments?
I do not.
I do not, just the setting of the special meeting on Tuesday, July 12th, 2022. And this meeting will be scheduled at 4 p.m.
I have one more thing, if I can, please. The LGBTQ Pride event that's taking place in June. We'll be participating in that. Canta will be. I know they said they were looking for more speakers. So just spreading the word of if anybody's interested in speaking at the event for any specific purpose, the Esperanza Center, they're the ones who are taking the any volunteers for that.
When is that event?
I want to say it's a Saturday, maybe the 24th,
I have Saturday, June 25th.
25th.
That's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Is there a flyer or is there a time?
There is a flyer and they haven't completed it because they're still adding everybody's logo onto it. But once it gets completed, would you like me to forward it to the commission?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay, and then so you spoke of the special meeting, and then our regular meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. We won't have a regular meeting in July, just the special meeting. And if there's no further comments or announcements, I can adjourn. Okay. I would like to have somebody make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 6:59.
I make a motion to dismiss the meeting at 6:59.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes 6-0. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for your time this evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.